Bonjour, je m'appelle Madame Metzger, and I am here to welcome you to French 2. You can see my email. Let me move this just a little bit. Is right there for you. Metzger.Julie at talmadgeschools.org. If you need to contact me, that is the best way to get a hold of me. So you're probably wondering, what are we going to learn in French 2? So let's talk about that. We are going to learn all about chores, asking permission to do things, and then what are some expressions for granting permission or denying permission. We're going to learn all kinds of good day and bad day things that could go on and how to react to that. And then we're also going to give advice and encouragement in case you've had a bad day. And we're going to learn lots of different types of clothing and shopping vocabulary. We're going to continue to describe people, places, and things. We're going to learn places around town and a very important skill, asking for directions and then being able to give directions or understand directions. We're going to learn about the homes and the different rooms in the homes and a little bit of furniture. We're going to learn all the different specialty shops that exist in France. We're going to shop for food. We're going to talk a lot about meals in France. And we're going to talk about Martinique in the Caribbean. And we're going to learn lots of vacation activities. We're going to continue to extend invitations and learn how to accept and turn down, which we already did in French 1, but we're going to learn more. We'll probably learn some other things too, but those are the main ones. In terms of grammar, we are going to review present tense and continue learning present tense, but French 2 is a big focus on past tense. And there's two different helping verbs that can be used in the French language, and so we're going to learn which one do we use and what are the grammar rules for that. We're also going to be learning pronouns, so we're not repeating ourselves all the time, direct and indirect object pronouns. We're going to touch a little bit upon reflexive verbs, and we're going to continue with learning about adjective agreement. How can you be successful? Learning a foreign language is all about memorization, and memorization takes time, and it has to be done in smaller chunks. So I highly recommend not only that you study every night, but that you study in small chunks every day and every night. That is much, much better for your brain. You should be going to Google Classroom all the time, and we're going to go there together in a moment. You should be looking at your slides and doing your online practices. You should be using flashcards, and it doesn't matter if that's digital flashcards like Quizlet or making flashcards with pen and paper. You need to do your homework every night, and the homework, when you're doing it, don't do it just to get done. Like, actually engage your brain and think about what you're doing, and you should be studying while you're doing it. That's going to help tremendously. If you can teach somebody at home what you're learning each day, that would be amazing for you. You retain so much more of what you have to teach to somebody else. And you want to keep in mind, if you want to be successful, never use a translator. It is cheating, whether you use it for a sentence or a whole paper, and you want to stay away from them. I can spot them a mile away. Instead, use an online dictionary like wordreference.com, or the app, and then you will be just fine. I need to see your work, not what a translator can do. Once you're done with French 2, that's just your base. I really recommend that you continue on with the upper levels, which is not only going to help you to be able to express yourself and understand French much better, but it's also going to help you if you're planning on going on to college. You'll be able to take a placement test and place out of French classes and get those credits, hopefully. So it's just really, really good for you, not only to have a little bit more of a base, but also to prepare for college, or if you're not going to college, just so that you can learn the language a little bit better. We do have French 3, 4, 5, that's new this year, and AP. And as you can see here, all the different classes and what you focus on. If you want to read that a little more clearly, pause this video and go through that. I also encourage you to join French Club if you haven't already. It's $10 to join, and that's because we almost always have food and supplies and things that cost money, and I use that membership money for that. I don't do fundraising. And sometimes we do something that's quite expensive, like going to a fondue restaurant or a French cafe, and sometimes those can cost $30 to $40 a person. So I might ask you to pay a little bit for an activity here or there. And sometimes the activities are free. It just depends on what it is and what we're doing. Before I say merci to you, I'm going to switch slides right now so that I can explain a little bit of how I organize the materials for you. So I'm going to go into our French 2 Google Classroom. And when you enter here, the only thing I'll have on here are our lessons that we're working on. And this is so, as it says, go here to see what we did in class each day and what the homework was. And if you are absent, the first thing you want to do is go to the lesson plans that we're working on and find the date. So let me click on that. My lesson plans will have like what the standards are that we're working on first, and then highlighted will be the date. So it's very easy for you to go to the date that you missed. Or if you're just like, what did we do in class? Or what was the homework? You can always go to these lessons, find the date. So on Monday, the very first day, you can see there's 6 things we're going to do in class, and then you do have some homework. If you're absent, you want to make sure not only are you doing the homework, but you're doing all the different things that we did in class for an hour and a half. That's important, and that's what people forget to do. So that will always be there for you. Never print these, not that you would, but I go in and change these as needed. So if there's a snow day, I'll go through and I'll change all the different dates. If the class didn't get through material that I had planned on getting through, I'll go in and I will change these lesson plans as needed. Okay, so that's on the stream. In the classwork tab, everything is organized by unit. So first you have all the like handouts that I would normally use before hand to you. And so you have handouts here. In the first tab under handouts, it says French 2 expectations, open house video, helpful handouts. So you have my how to succeed, bienvenue here. Here you have all the different chapters that we learned in French 1, all the vocabulary here. So since we don't really do books, you have all the vocab that we've worked on. That's what that is. We have the French names in case we need that during the first week. We have how to succeed, which I went over that with you a little bit. And there's will be also here, the open house video, which is what I'm making right now. So if you want to go back to that at any point. Next, we have accents. So if you need to put accents in, Cami, very hard to put accents in. You can go here and cut and paste. How do I use Cami? We use that all the time in French 1 and 2. We're going to be using Screencastify from time to time or something similar. That will be how to do here. I play French music during the class. And if the kids ever want to play that while they're doing homework or just have it on in the background, my lists are here. All right, next we'll be doing French 1 review. And here are all the different tabs we will be going through, chapters 1 through 7. And all the materials are right there. And then they will have the homework for our review unit underneath. Next, we'll move to chapter 7. And then the chapter 7 assignments are underneath. Each little tab has a lot of things in there. Our chapters are divided into 3 etaps is what your book calls them, or 3 sections. So most of the time there's 7.1, 7.2, 7.3 for the 3 different etaps. If you click on one of those, there's all kinds of materials for each etap. And, oops, I think I clicked into one of them. Yep, I sure did. But let's review here. So in each one, a lot of times you'll have a video of me just like this teaching the lesson. You'll have Quizlet flashcards linked up. You'll have Conjumago activities linked up. These are directly connected to our book with the exact vocab. There are flashcards, and then there's graded practice, and then there's all these games that they can play. This, along with Quizlet, is hooked up for every single etap of all the units we do. So there is lots of online practice and flashcards that they can be doing that's already there for them. And then as you can see, we move through chapter 8, 9, etc., 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 and it just goes down the line. It's always materials and then the assignments. All right, so that is how your Google Classroom is set up. I think I probably have answered a lot of your questions. And if you still have some, of course, you can email me, and the kids, of course, can come in and ask me. I'm really looking forward to teaching French too. I loved my French 1 classes, and I'm looking forward to meeting those who took French 1 in 8th grade. I know it's going to be a fabulous semester. All right, so au revoir and merci beaucoup.